Changes in the crypto industry is about to happen, and it is slowly happening in front of us. We're watching big numbers being thrown at us. We're watching huge adoptive moves in different parts of this world. And that kind of shows you, yeah, some of these executive orders, or at least one or two, can be into the crypto segment. Yes, there's a lot of different issues, and crypto may not be the biggest thing, but you will still see massive price appreciation here in the crypto market if that's true. Now, what's the trouble? If it's not, you will see the price slowing down. But in the meantime, we will see speculators entering the space. And that is kind of visible in here, isn't it? While you look at the last 2 year long trend lines and that trending channel, it kind of gives you an idea which direction this is headed. And that shows you a clear direction of which side you may align. Because whether you are a conservative investor or whether you look for conservative choices, you have different ideas, right? When you're optimistic, it does look like this. When you're conservative, you're looking for this. Both in the same market, the altcoin market. Now, how can all of this play out in a way that the macro investors and the long term investors kind of take the big pot of money and step out? Welcome to the scientific investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. We're now looking at the market in an entirely different view, understanding which of these assets are starting to push high, starting to gain that and stand by those gains, looking for further price appreciation. And that is exactly where XRP comes into the picture. Yes, we understand all of this is true. We will most likely get something based on what we have seen, and the speculations on that is increasing. But when you are looking at XRP on a daily, yes, we got the breakout. That is great. Yes, you're staying above that. You closed 2 daily candles above this. That is one. Now, say 2 is the first swing high. You did get a local resistance here, which is now a support. Now, if you do look at that on a conservative point of view, you are moving back to a 3-day chart. Now, on a 3-day chart, your local resistance for XRP is around 2.608, say 2.61. So as you see the price action break through 2.61 to 2.72, that kind of gives you more confidence to say, okay, the next leg is starting. That slow start, which you usually see, is now taking place. You get the 1, you get the 2, and then the burst. Yeah, we've seen that multiple times in XRP. So if that's what we are watching here, just like which we have seen in multiple parts of this asset throughout last 5, 6, 7 years, then yes, XRP is primed to do something. Now, how do you recognize that? Is the entire market about to run up, or at least a group of assets in the altcoin segments to do this, while the Bitcoin dominance is breaking below this channel? I mean, Bitcoin dominance has been inside this for last 2 years, and now it broke to the downside, retested, and faked out. Now, what we are watching is the measured move. That's a 7.52% to the downside. Because you broke to the downside, you're still below that trend line and getting rejected too. So yes, you can put the argument saying there are odds that we may break through this one too, and we should also look at the measured moves in here, which would be bigger than the last one. Say you plot that one. So you're not looking at the 7.52, rather you're looking at the 9.7. which takes you to 52%. In both of these cases, what's common? Bitcoin dominance is to continue to the downside. So large cap altcoins, they are about to take the view, right? When everyone is looking at crypto market, they would look at which asset is attracting more volume, which asset is trending higher. All of that kind of aligns a lot with XRP, XLM. You can see that the market is in red. Bitcoin is negative 0.34, Ether is negative 0.13, XRP is up 1.1%. XLM is up 1.6%. So you kind of get to see which direction the market is slowly moving into. The utility part, the fundamentals, and the liquidity is kind of important here. Because when you do go into a short-term chart, yes, you are looking at multiple price actions, multiple patterns. Like the one you can see here is a micro bull flag after it broke through a macro. So you had a retest and then you're trying to continue. If you do break through 0.47 in XLM, that kind of gives you a confirmation that this is headed higher. Now look at another payments asset, which is based in US, like the US first, right? Made in America. So when you do look at that, you kind of get to see this. That's a macro structure which you're looking at last 4-5 years. And this is that trend lines which are valid. So the reaccumulation region looks cool while you push this to the upside. Any retest of the breakout is going to be a massive buying opportunity zone. Now say that's payment segment, you are looking more close into the meme coin ecosystem, then you're looking at some of these. And especially when you are looking for those, the idea here is like, okay, we didn't actually get an ABC, but we have seen times where you do this. The next drop comes back to the exact same level and go up. But when the price runs up, we have done that multiple times. We've seen bull flags. Now, what we have to ask is, when those bull flags are being built, what's the total downside? How much should you be anticipating at the worst case scenario? That's a 50% to the downside in Doge. And the total time taken to break higher was around 28 days. Now, that's a 3-day candle. So if you pick 30 days. So on average, you kind of get to see a 30 days towards 70 days consolidation before you take up for the next leg. Now, when you do take the next leg to the upside, how long is it? Yeah, that's like 30 days. And in 30 days time, the price didn't actually give you too much to think about. It did a 15x. So look at what it did the last time. From the local bottom, it did a 12x. So you're watching how the price appreciation is crazy, increasing the momentum and the measured moves to the upside each time it goes. So now take this into account. You have this run up, which is 200%. And now you have this run up, which is close to 500%. So if we plot that and say, okay, we are going to do something bigger than that, obviously you're looking for something like this, which extends into the all-time highs, the price discovery, the FOMO, all of that. But before you go do that, you will have to go through this phase. You will definitely have to go through this phase of volatility. That's common in this market. Now, that's just the meme coin segment. Now, if you look at infrastructure area of this market, this is something very interesting. The pattern formation looks like this. Now, say you're looking just at the trend line at the bottom level, the support. And if you bought in close to this, you're not doing much. You don't have anything to do here. You're literally waiting. Now, say you're a Wyckoff guy. You're looking for this as the accumulation range. You're looking at this as a reaccumulation with a reversal signal. What's that reversal signal? You get this. Yeah, we've seen these multiple times. We've called these out close to the bottom with the reversal, with the confirmation we talked about. Now, when you do retest such, the first breakout here is going to be the biggest opportunity. with the highest level of confirmation. So on a macro level for this asset, yes, you got that. You got the breakout. You're doing the retest. So here it's giving you the next confirmation, which can take the price to the upside. Now, you can do measured moves. You can do the resistance level, whichever you like. But understand, follow the market, follow the volume, and especially the RSI. Follow it on a weekly and a monthly so you know which direction you are headed. Do you have a negative divergence? I don't think so. Now look at the monthly. You're still trending to the upside with higher highs and higher lows. At one point, some of these assets will take off. Whether you look at it on a macro view, whether you look at it on a micro view, you kind of get to understand some of these assets have been choppy. They stayed there for an extended period of time, and now they are showing you something, right? So this is a monthly chart for another infrastructure token. Now what you have to understand is previously these two range price point interactions has been a resistance. Now, for last 2 months, it's acting as a support. What do you make of it? Right? Now, if on a macro that's happening, on a micro, what should happen? The whales usually don't like everyone understanding that macro and taking part in that macro ride. So usually, historically, what we have seen is that they would push the price down, making the majority think like we're going down, and then run back to the upside. So this is the support range. We may start bouncing off from there itself if you do get a divergence. Now, on a weekly, do you have a negative divergence? No, you don't. So there are different segments of the assets in this market which you will have to focus. Some of them showed you the negative divergence. Some of them are not showing you that. So identifying those will be the key in the next run up. Now, we've been going through that in the SI family for a long period of time, breaking all of these one by one. There's a lot of list asked. Almost 90% is completed, and you already know that means most of your portfolio, the assets, you now have an idea if that has negative divergence or not. Why is that so important? People do ask this question. Daily, the range bound motion, not the time bound, the price range shows you it's heading down. 3-day chart shows you I'm still working on this, which kind of gives you an idea of what direction we are looking at. And we go on a weekly and it says, no, I'm still here. And the bottom range still can be close to 90,000. So that is why, as I started, I told you the weekly candle close held this support. That's the range. The moment you break that one, it's going to be trouble. If you hold Bitcoin, that is going to be trouble. And the negative divergence confirms that altcoin holders will watch the Bitcoin dominance dropping and few different segments starting to pop one by one. I don't think this time around you're going to actually observe each and every segments bursting through. Rather, you will see some of these assets taking off one by one. So when we say random assets popping one by one on your left and right, don't get confused. This is one of the primary reasons why we went through the negative divergence. Say, look at this. It is kind of easy for you to understand that base was clear and this top was clear. I mean, I posted that back in the day. They're saying if you enter this asset here, you will make 0%. Why? The negative divergence on the monthly was clear, and that formed at a time when the weekly was also showing you a negative divergence. Is that clear? Yes, if you look back, you'll understand something. The asset kind of showed a little bit of negative divergence, but not the accurate textbook one. It had a severe negative divergence on the weekly and monthly together, but just the weekly back then, here in August 2020, didn't show you that. That is why I say, while you look at the Bitcoin right now, the odds of you forming that negative divergence on a monthly is here. Yeah, You get one monthly candle close below 90,000, and that kind of gives you the negative divergence confirmed on a monthly, while you already have the weekly confirming the negative divergence. So there's a lot of different things which people would throw around, just like you saw $850,000 Bitcoin. That's a target for which year, no one knows. Maybe in another 10 years, who knows? But all that you should care about is the macro chart of total altcoin market. If the total altcoin market can actually reach a support and then bounce off, that would be the best thing to see. But we have not yet done that. On a weekly, this is what you're watching. This negative divergence doesn't look good. Yeah, the price is going up while the RSI is going down. But we had times in the past where we did show those, yeah, where they literally made those negative divergence and then price went up. But right now, when you have not yet completed the ABC leg here in the corrective side, that is not good. Yes, you can wait for a hidden bullish divergence and say this is about to ride much higher. But for now, the assets which are clearly indicating they follow the market with negative divergence will follow this trend of an ABC and reach the retest range, which is not a bad thing, because if you look at this trend line, you will know this. Yeah, fine. While the others do the wave 2, these guys are not doing wave 2. Just like 2021, you had the gaming not doing the run up while everyone else was running up. And everyone else stopped down in April 2021. Gaming went on to November, December 2021 to make all-time highs. So you will see those kind of segments, which means if you have one segment, say smart contracts, and you see 5, 6, 7 assets, large caps in that segment showing you negative divergence, think about that. The entire smart contracts segment may have it. Now look at the payments, look at the gaming, look at the meme coins, and understand if you do get that. If you have 5 meme coins in your portfolio and all of them show something, you should be careful. If it's just one showing you, all the others showing the exact opposite, maybe that project has some trouble. This is why we go through the one-on-one session in your portfolio, discussing through each of them. If 5 top weighted assets in your portfolio doesn't show negative divergence, you are good to go. But if 3 out of that 5 shows negative divergence, that has some trouble. This is not short-term movements we're talking about. It's the long-term, the macro, the weekly chart. So when the weekly chart delivers that negative divergence, you should care about that, because the price action confirms something. And look for micro moves. Yeah, you may try to use that to arbitrage the market, but the macro moves should be in your mind, and that should align with your long-term bags, the spot riding bags. So guys, if you received value, smash that like button. And if you want to get further value, join the SI family, be a part of it. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.